Gee, sorry. So, first, I wrote everything down already from the video. I have like my own little cookbook things where I like store all of my favorite recipes, and I just assumed that this one is gonna be good. So chocolate. What we're starting with, so what they say in the recipe, that ideally you want to have chocolate between 60 and 70%. So you need 230 grams of chocolate. So I got the good stuff. I got 2 bars of Lindt chocolate, the mild one, 70%, and I got one with 50%. So I'm gonna do 30 grams of the 50% and then 200 grams of the 70. So what we're gonna do is we chop the chocolate into small bits and pieces. Man, I love chocolate so much. So we just wanna chop it fine. Yeah, so when you're making that, what they're saying is important that you take the right chocolate. So you can obviously make it with milk chocolate as well, but the flavor is not gonna be as intense as if you take like high quality dark chocolate, if that makes sense. So we have chocolate, and then we need all in all 75 grams of cocoa powder. And for the cocoa powder, they also use the good stuff. So don't get like the kids hot chocolate cocoa, like the what's it called? Don't get the Nesquik or whatever they're called. Oh god, this. So I need 75 all in all, and I think for now in this I only put like half of it. So I'm taking 100% cocoa powder. So all in all, we're gonna need 75. I put like around 50-ish in there now. Like this. I'll do that later again, but not right now. Lady. Yeah, it's your own fault. If you want to sleep on there, it's your fault. I'm cooking here, lady, okay? 6 times 6 apples. Oh, time to make some apple pie for sure. Then, what else they say to put in there is a spoon of coffee, if you like. So, I'm just gonna check. I don't know if I have loose coffee. So we're gonna do it without the coffee, but you can put in the coffee if you like. In the meanwhile, we're gonna try to melt some butter. We're gonna melt some butter. I'm gonna do this in here. We need 280 grams, so this is 250, yeah, so we need 30 more. So a whole block of butter. So those brownies, there's, I think, half a kilo of sugar in there as well. So this is gonna be everything else but healthy. Just letting you know. You're gonna melt the butter however you want. You can do it in a microwave. You can do it in like a pan or whatever. I have like this handy kitchen machine that can also like heat up stuff. Perfect. So that's what I'm gonna take. We're gonna also preheat the oven to 180 degrees. And in the meanwhile, we can also make our brownie tin. I'm just wondering which one I should make. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna line it with butter and parchment paper, so it's easier to release it later. So just a tip, whenever you grease something up, if you use baking butter, it's easier because that one is always soft. So what I'm doing with the parchment paper, I'm sticking that on the butter. So then we're gonna need sugar. We need 2 different kinds of sugar. We need brown sugar and normal white sugar for this. White sugar, brown sugar. a lot of sugar, just a warning. So we need 400 grams white sugar. And then we need as well 100 grams of brown sugar. Okay, so we have the sugar in there. Then we need some vanilla. In a second, I'm just going to check on our butter, how it's going. You can choose whatever vanilla you want. I think in a recipe they used like the vanilla extract, so they used the liquid form. I personally like it more to have the powdered bourbon vanilla one. The butter is ready. Yes. So now what you want to do, once the butter is hot, okay? So you have here your chocolate cocoa mix, right? So what do you want to do? You want to make sure that your chocolate and cocoa is in like a heat, like a thingy that is heat resistant, and then you just pour the hot butter on the chocolate, and then you just let it sit there, and the butter is gonna melt the chocolate. Yuna is just sitting there. Okay, and now we're gonna start mixing the dough. So this mixture that we're gonna have, so this is, by the way, in case you're wondering, this is like a mixer as well, so you can just do that with your hand mixer or whatever, doesn't really matter. And we're gonna have to mix all of this for 10 minutes, okay? So we have in the two different kinds of sugars, we have the vanilla in there, and now we need to put in a little bit of salt. Or a little bit, like a good amount of salt. For this recipe, we need 6 large eggs, full eggs. What I would recommend when you break the eggs, they also say that in the video, which is actually a really good point. Break the eggs first into like a separate bowl, so in case you break an eggshell in, right? You can get it out more easy, because like if the eggshell is somewhere like in the middle of the dough, you're gonna have a pain. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to get out, if that makes sense, right? So what was it? Sugar, vanilla, eggs. Exactly. So we have 6 eggs here, and we want to beat all of this for 10 minutes. They say it's super important to beat it that long for the consistency of the dough later. So I'm just gonna put them in like egg for egg. Get all the rest out and in. And now you want to just let it be mixed for literal 10 minutes. So I put a timer here, and we're going to let that mix for 10 minutes. We need 25 more grams of cocoa powder, which I'm going to weigh out. And we need some normal flour as well. How much was the normal flour? 130 grams of normal flour, which we're going to take from here. And I'm going to add that into the same bowl, because we're going to mix both at the same time. Here is, I can put like our veggies in already, which we're going to use for a cottage pie, okay? I'm going to show you what we're going to use for our vegetarian cottage pie. We're going to need some leek. It's called leek, right, in English? And then I got some of those bad boys, and we got some more carrots as well. So those are some, how do you call them in English? Pastinaken are parsnips, I think. Are those parsnips? We have a little bit of more leek. Like root vegetables is basically what you want. We have some yellow carrots. We have some big chunky. So it's basically, and some, what is this called? Parsnip, I think so too, I'm not sure. And then some more carrots, and that's gonna be the base of our cottage pie, basically. Let me see. I have some more carrots. Oh no, I dropped the carrot. I really like carrots, so we can put in some more. Our base dough has been beaten the eggs with the sugar has been beaten for 10 minutes, which is important for the brownies to be the right consistency. If you don't do this, they're not gonna be as fluffy. I'm just gonna show you the consistency of how the stuff should look like. So this is basically like a thick, pancake consistency. And now what we're gonna add is like the whole chocolate to the mixture. And now we're gonna let that mix a little longer. And while this mixes, I'm just gonna put the flour and cocoa mix in as well. So you don't want to pour in everything at once, otherwise you might get some lumps. That batter turned out thick. That's one thick boy. See this? Get some of the air out. And now we're gonna put it into the oven for 20 minutes first. So that is the first part. It's not fully done yet. We're gonna do more with the brownies, okay? So put this away. Chocolate is the true treasure of earth, true. We're starting with our cottage pie that is vegetarian. So first we're taking a big pot, which actually I'm gonna cut the stuff first and then we're gonna go further. So we're gonna be cutting all of those yummy veggies. First of all, I'm gonna cut up this and then skin all of them. And what you want to do is you want to smash them so they deflate a little bit. And then once you did that, sorry for the loud noise, you take some sea salt flakes, okay? Sorry for the loud noise. You take some sea salt flakes. Olive oil, guys. A ton of olive oil. And then we want some rosemary. I have some delicious rosemary here. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull off some of those delicious rosemary twigs. And we're gonna let the oil heat up and then we're gonna put the rosemary in. I'm just thinking, it's technically even vegan if I wouldn't use butter for the mashed potatoes later. Or milk. So you could easily make this into like a vegan version if you would like. And we're gonna make some mashed potatoes to top it all off. They're really crispy now, the rosemary leaves. So we're just getting those out and set them to side. And the good thing is that our oil is now infused. So we don't need to get everything out, but this we need later to top everything off. And now we're gonna put our veggies in there. I'm just gonna mix it through a little bit. And then what we're gonna use to season this is a little bit of cumin. And we're gonna make a gravy later, so we're not gonna use too much spice so far. Then salt, obviously. And some pepper. So now, in the meanwhile, we can start doing our mesh. Sorry, I'm gonna straight put my potatoes in here. Okay, I'm gonna take my parsley roll that up, chop it up. So you want to let that cook till it's like a nice consistency, right? Oh my god. Wait, I'm gonna give you a close-up of those bad boys. You see this? Oof. See, now it's starting to stick on a pot. That's exactly what we want. That's gonna be so good for the gravy. And then we're working on our gravy. We're gonna make a mushroom tomato gravy. Also, I need to put the oven a little bit higher because for the cottage pie, we're gonna need like 190 degrees. So, for the gravy, the first thing we wanna do is we wanna bring some water to a boil. Around 400 grams, that is. 400 grams, 400 milliliters. Steinpilze. You can use whatever mushroom it you want. So I have 400 grams, 400 milliliters of boiling water. And now what we want to add is dried mushrooms. This is gonna be the gravy, okay? So around 10 grams. So it's half of this. There we go. 10 grams of dried mushrooms. Then we want to put 1 onion. If you want, you can put in a red onion, if that's something you prefer. Mushrooms are boiling pretty good, so 1 onion. You want to just put that all together in a blender, okay? And then what you can put in if you want, you can put in, for example, Marmite if you have. Like you want something with like a salty taste, like you can put your favorite whatever you want, but Marmite, Muggy, something like that, right? So in my case, I'm gonna put some Muggy in there, and you're gonna put in some tomato, passierte tomatoes. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there. Now we have some nice browning going on here already. Yes, that's exactly what we want. Sorry for the bad words. So like all this browning in the pot is gonna be delicious. And this is our gravy, okay? This is our vegan gravy. You can put like more Maggi and stuff if you want. So vegan gravy right there. Dried mushrooms, hot water, tomato paste. So, and we're gonna add like a whole can of lentils to this. And the good thing is with the lentils, they're gonna give it like a nice consistency. And because we're gonna cook that for a long time, like we're gonna put the whole thing in the oven for like 40 more minutes later, they will all be completely soft and you will not feel any of the texture anymore. But you can also see it kind of looks like a cottage pie, right? So it has like the visuals kind of it through the lentils, if that makes sense. And then in the meanwhile, we're gonna put a little bit more spice into this. So you can obviously put in whatever you want. I need a little bit more salt because like the lentils and stuff neutralize everything quite a bit. So good pinch of salt, good pinch of pepper. So the way I'm seasoning my mash, nutmeg, salt, pepper. That's delicious now. Okay, let's fill this goodness in here. That's actually a good amount. I mean, too much for 2 persons, but... And now, this is where it looks before it goes in the oven. And now we're gonna put it in the oven for like 45-ish minutes. Now we're gonna get the food out, guys. Are we ready for this? Don't forget your fried rosemary. By the way, just saying. Ooh. Oh my god. This looks delicious. He's probably gonna faint, guys. I'm reading it now. See you again tomorrow. I love you all. Bye.